right, ready?
Yeah, man.
Jake West with Team F-Line Sports. I'm joined by head coach of the Hayesville Yellow Jackets, Chad McClure. Coach McClure, before we get into this coming year, let's talk about the off-season a little bit. Kind of how's things been going for you guys? Having a good turnout for summer workouts and stuff like that. I know Monday you're gonna hit it hard.
That's right. Yeah, we've had in my opinion, a really good off-season. We focused, on weights and didn't do a lot of 7-on-7s this summer. Just really focused on getting kids stronger, and we've had really good turnouts. Anywhere from 15 to 20 guys for us, which is good. Hoping a few more will come out. Those guys that hadn't been here this summer, because we need those guys to help. But overall, we've had a good nucleus of kids that are working hard and getting ready.
When you look at the states around us, and I know you guys have a couple Georgia teams scheduled, they get to start a little bit earlier than we do. Is that something you would be a proponent of for the NCHSAA to allow us in North Carolina to get our season underway a little quicker, or at least have access to the padded camps and things like that they do?
Absolutely. I know, where we live, so close to Tennessee and Georgia, they do get a little head start on us. Like you said, they could do some padded camps and things like that. I would always be a proponent of getting a little earlier start. Us this year, our kids start school so late. We're going to have 2 games in before we even start school. So,
wow.
And all that stuff makes a difference. Those kids in Georgia, of course, they're a week ahead of us at least, and then they're going to start school and be in a routine. So definitely some advantages to that. I would definitely be a proponent of that.
What about, you guys have had a year under your belt of Rosman not being in the conference. You're in a 6-team SMC now. Do you like that? Do you like being able to get another non-conference game under your belt, or did you like it not having to do the legwork of finding that extra game? I know that's been hard.
Well, it's been tough, especially losing them, and then through COVID, we lost some Tennessee teams through scheduling and realignments, things like that. I enjoyed having Rosman in the conference because I think they were comparable to us. It was a long drive, but I do like having 5 non-conference games, but it is tough to schedule and find games for sure.
What about into this season? How's your coaching staff shaking out? Any new faces, or who's where?
We've got a few new coaches coming in. Had a couple of coaches that moved away for job reasons, not coaching reasons, but going to have Frank Leatherwood will be helping me again. He'll be coaching wide receivers and helping with the defensive backs, and he helps coordinate our offense along with myself. Kenneth Dockery is going to move to our defensive coordinator, and he's going to coach our offensive line. Still got John Hensley. He's going to help with quarterbacks and defensive backs. Got a new face this year. Moved him up from their JV staff, Kyle Chastain, who's going to help out with our skill guys. And a couple of volunteer coaches that Brian Birch really helps us out, special teams, and Barrett Woody, who played for me and has come back and wants to volunteer and help, so he's going to help with the running backs and linebackers.
Well, speaking of new faces, I talked to Coach Cottrell earlier this summer, and he said you guys' JV program is looking pretty good. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, we've had the best turnout as far as summer goes. We won't know for sure until Monday, but we had upwards of 40 kids sign up to play, which for us is incredible. I'm hoping to get about 30 varsity players, and if we have 35, 40 JV players, that's exciting for the future, definitely. Summer workouts, they've had 20, 25 kids here pretty consistently all summer. I know our midget team, I think, had 36, 37 players. So, numbers like that, especially a small school like we are, can really help you take your program to the next level.
Well, I think it starts at the rec department level too, and you guys you've done a lot working with them, and you've got some good things going on at that level. But looking at your varsity schedule, like we talked about, you got 5 non-conference games. Of those 5, what game is there a game that sticks out to you that you're most looking forward to playing?
Well, we're looking forward to the first one, of course. We got Towns County back on the schedule after a couple years of not scheduling them, and that's for our kids and communities. That's a big game. We border with them, share a lake with them, and a lot of our kids know each other. So I think that's going to be an exciting game for our kids. We picked up Georgia Force again. They're going to come here, and then North Georgia Falcons picked them up again. North Georgia's on the road, so got a couple of home games right out of the gate, so hopefully we get some excitement created. Then we have to go back to Lookout Valley and then hosting Tuscola here. So I think it's a good schedule, some teams that we can compete with and have a chance to hopefully get off to a good start. We got to focus on that first one.
What about inside the conference? I know you hear the locker room talk and things like that. Is there a team that your guys are looking most forward to playing in the conference?
Our conference is really, I think, competitive and balanced. I think Andrews, they're just reloading. They've got most everybody back. Should have a really good team. Murphy and Robbinsville, they're going to be good. They always are. Swain's got a new coach. They've got some good kids over there. And, expect Cherokee to be really good. I think our kids, they want to get up there and compete with the big dogs, as we call them, the top 3. The Murphy and Robbinsville, and I guess this year Andrews is in that, which normally they're not, but they've got a really good team coming back.
Do you think that just kind of the way things have been more fluid, and you've got more numbers coming out? Do you think that the fact that it is more fluid is helping you guys with kids just wanting to come out and compete because they're seeing it's not like there's not a monopoly or anything like that?
I think it helps. It's been tough, especially with COVID, all that situation. My first year we had a really good season, winning season, then COVID hits, and it's almost like we're trying to rebuild again. And it takes a while when you come into a program, and I'm expecting this year, we've got most of our guys back. A lot of guys that as freshmen and sophomores have started, not been as experienced, that you could really tell they've grown, they've gotten bigger, stronger, and they'll have that experience to hopefully help us, compete in these games that we haven't in the past.
Just talk about those guys. Is there your impact players, your guys that everybody in the stands is going to be looking to watch?
We've got Logan Caldwell coming back, 3-year starter for us. This will be his senior season. He's really developed and grown. And, one of the hardest workers we've got. I like to tell people he's the first one here, last one to leave. He's a quiet leader, never complains, does what you ask. I think he's going to have a really good season. In the backfield, we've got Taylor McClure, who's another one that's really worked hard in the offseason. He's gotten really strong and grown some. One of those guys that started as a freshman is now going to be a junior that I think have a really good year for us. Kyle Lunsford's coming back. He played tight end for us last year, was our leading receiver. But I expect to see him more in the backfield this year with the return of Avery Leatherwood at tight end. Up front, we've got all but one guy back from our starters last year. Lane Odell, who's a great kid, strong. Really expect him to be one of those breakout players this year. Jeremy Graves, he'll be a senior for us. Lyman, He's really bought in this summer, so I'm excited about him. Got a lot of guys. It takes everybody, but those are the ones that stick out to me.
Avery coming back, I mean, that was a huge loss last year, and you're never going to be able to replace Jake,
Right.
but that's a pretty good plug and play.
Yeah, Avery, he's not as big as Jake, but he's one of those kids that he's going to give you everything he's got every play. He's got great hands. He's a smart kid. Loves to play football. So we're excited to have him back. He's really going to help us.
What about somebody under the radar? I mean, like you said, Taylor's freshman year, nobody
Right.
outside of the immediate people here knew that he was going to make an impact. Is there somebody this year, it doesn't have to be a freshman, just somebody you think is going to make an impact and play some valuable minutes?
Kid that comes to mind is Michael Money. He's going to be a sophomore. He moved up last year as a freshman. He's not a very big kid, but he's fast. He's shifty. Loves to play the game. He's the one who's the smallest guy on the field. And he's the one that recovered the onside kick against Cherokee. So he's going to be playing a lot of slot for us, and I think if we can get the ball to him in the open, he can make some things happen.
You mentioned the onside kick. I was going to ask, I think you guys, talking to Coach Cottrell, you guys have got an extra point kicker and got a kicker that's pretty good this year.
He is. Isaac Chandler's our kicker. I don't think he missed a PAT last year. He's perfect from that, and he's been to some kicking camps. Past couple of years, he's played DB and receiver for us, so we're hoping he'll do that again for us because, he's an athletic kid. He was on the state championship basketball team. And, we're hoping, kickers are weapons.
Definitely.
You're not going to score touchdowns all the time, so if we can get his range, he's pretty consistent from 35 to 40 and on the end. If we can get him kicking off in the end zone, that'd be another added benefit.
Definitely. Well, Coach, I appreciate you sitting down with us. Is there anything you want to say to fans, players, or boosters? Is there anything you want to say heading into the season?
We're excited. I hope that our community will come out and support these kids. We're gonna get to work next Monday. So if this airs before then, if you've got someone who's wanting to play, send them on. We'd love to have them, and just looking forward to getting this season started.
All right. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.